folks, how you going? Welcome back to your virtual maths class. As per usual, any queries or concerns you might have, you know where to find me. Feel free to always just drop me an email with any questions or concerns you have. Same with any requests. If you've got any requests about what you'd like to do in class, make sure you let me know and we'll accommodate them as best we can. Today we're going to use a TheraBand. So if you've got a TheraBand, great. If you haven't got a TheraBand, don't stress. Something like a towel, a long scarf will do the trick. Potentially even a pair of tights or something that's going to have just a little bit of length in it so that you can tuck your foot into it and do some circles and bits and pieces like that. So you might have something at home that you could replicate it with if you haven't got a band. Now, if you've got a band, the first thing you're going to do is just check it for any little tears. So I do it regularly by just casting my eye down both sides of the band and just check that there are no little tears in them. If there is a little tear in it, I suggest you be really careful today and you replace it. I do sell them. I sell them for about $5 each. So if you want one, you can let me know. I can always post it to you or something like that as well. But they're not too hard to find. If you can't find one, just let me know. So the risk is if it's got a little tear in it, you're going to put your foot in it or something like that and it's going to snap when you do it. They don't last forever. So as you use your bands, just make sure you keep an eye on them. So if you've got a band, you're going to pause the video, grab your band, grab something similar that might replicate your band and just put it next to your mat. We're going to use them shortly. I haven't got a foam roller, so we're actually going to start you down. I haven't got a foam roller with me today because I want to start you on the mat. If you want to roll yourself out, obviously feel free to roll yourself out. When you're ready to finish rolling yourself out, just start the video again. And we're going to start lying down on our backs. Once you're down, we're going to put you in your normal supine position. Just check your space. Make sure that there's nothing around you that you're going to hurt yourself on. So make sure your space is nice and clear. And as per normal, listen to your bodies for me, team. So if there's something that doesn't feel quite right, just leave out. It'll be barely minutes before we skip on to the next section. So lying down on your back, knees are bent, feet are hip width distance apart. Check your alignment. You can look down and check your alignment if that's better for you. You want to make sure those feet are nice and straight, in line with second toes. Lying down on your back and just organising your head, neck and shoulders for me. So you should have that nice little gap between your chin and your chest and your shoulders away from your ears. And you're just going to put your arms down by your side to begin with. Okay, first thing we're going to do is what I refer to as a body scan. So a little body scan. So you're just going to think about how you currently feel on the mat. So let's start with head, neck and shoulders. What's touching the mat and what isn't touching the mat? Just sort of give it a bit of thought. Is your right shoulder maybe higher than your left shoulder? Do you feel your neck's got a bit of tension in it? How do you feel in that area of your body? Down into your rib cage. Feel how your ribs are touching the mat, or maybe they're not touching the mat, depending on how tight you might be. Down to your lower rib cage, so working towards your lower back. How does it feel? Compare left to right for me. Think about what's touching the mat, what isn't touching the mat. Shoulders and arms, how do they feel? Does your left feel different to your right? My right often feels very different to my left when I lie down on the mat and think about it. My right is my old mouse hand from all those years of sitting at a desk, and that shoulder alignment is often quite different. Down through your hips, so think about again what's touching the mat, what isn't touching the mat. Do you feel that one side of your hip is more in connection with the mat to the other? And even down to your feet, so what's touching the mat and what isn't touching the mat. So just a little body scan to see how you're connecting to the floor. Then we're going to start with some breath work. So we're going to take our hands, we're going to have our middle fingers just touching each other, and we're going to put those hands on the base of your ribs. So middle fingers just touching, hands on the base of your ribs. So nice big deep breaths for me. So you're breathing in through your nose, and you're breathing out through your mouth. Big deep breath in. Exhale all that air out. You're going to keep breathing like that for me. As you're breathing, you're going to start to feel movement. You should feel movement in your ribs. So your breath has created movement. Think about breathing into the back of your rib cage. So you should feel your ribs opening into the mat. We call that breathing posteriorly into your lungs. Big deep breath in, feel those ribs expand. Exhale to let that air out. 2 more breath patterns. Big deep breath in through your nose and out through mouth. And last one for me, big deep breath in through your nose and out through mouth. One hand is going to stay on your rib cage, other hand's going to come and rest on your belly. We're going to do some diaphragmatic breathing. So you're going to breathe in, and as you breathe in, you're going to feel your belly lifting up underneath your hand, and then you're going to breathe out, and you'll feel that belly gently dropping back down. So you breathe in and you feel your belly lifting, breathe out and the belly drops. Still breathing in through your nose if you can, and out through mouth. So you're going to keep breathing like that. Again, you can feel movement in your body that's created by your breath work. Diaphragm lifts and lowers as you breathe, massaging those internal organs. You'll feel everything moving. 2 more breaths. Big deep breath in, feel that belly lift. Exhale to let that air out. 1 more breath pattern for me. Big deep breath in through your nose and out through mouth. Bring your arms down by your side and turn your palms to the ceiling for me. If palms to the ceiling bothers you, turn your palms down. Otherwise, palms to the ceiling. Reach your fingers down towards your toes. Stand firmly in your feet. Have even weight distribution right across your feet. We're going to do our pelvic tilts. Right now you have a little arch in your back. You're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to gently tip your pelvis backwards and allow your spine to open and flatten into your mat, and then roll your pelvis forwards and let your back arch up off the mat. Gently roll backwards, allow the spine to open and flatten into your mat. Roll the pelvis forwards and let the back arch. So you're going to roll backwards and forwards, taking nice big deep breaths as you move, so get your breath pattern going. Your feet are firm on the mat and your knees are relatively still. Try not to let them wobble around. We're going to do 1 more in each direction. Gently roll backwards, allow the spine to open and flatten into the mat, roll the pelvis forwards, let the back arch, and then rest in neutral. Moving from your wrists, swivel your palms down. So you've still got that broad shoulder feeling, palms are down. Gently engage your arms into the mat. So it's about a 10 to 15% engagement. Feet are firm on your mat again. We're going to come into some bridges. You're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to gently tip your pelvis backwards, and you're going to slowly lift your spine up off of the mat. You're going to come up to the base of your shoulder blades. You're going to take a breath in there, and you're going to breathe out as you peel your spine down bit by bit, and then roll your pelvis through neutral. So inhale, breath first, breathe out, tip backwards in the pelvis, lift yourself up off of the mat. Again, coming to about the base of your shoulders, make sure your hips are opening up through the hips for me. Pause there, breath in, breathe out to come all the way down, nice long breath, and allow your pelvis to roll through neutral. So keep bridging in your own time. Knees, try and keep them relatively still. Arms still just gently engaged into the floor. It's going to help you switch your back muscles on. Feet are firm on the mat, particularly the insides of your feet. Not so much that your arches are pushed down into the mat, but I want you to keep even weight distribution from your big toe to your little toe and then right through your heel. If the insides of your feet feel like they are lifting, then your calf muscles are getting in on the action. We're going to do 1 more. Take a breath in, breathe out to tip the pelvis backwards, lengthen the spine, come up into your nice long strong bridge, pause there, and then slowly articulate down, breathe out all the way and allow your pelvis to roll through neutral. Pause here. Arms, we're going to do some arm marks. We're going to start with just to the ceiling. Take a breath in, breathe out to bring your arms to the ceiling, nice long arms for me, and then bring them all the way back down to the mat. Shoulders broad and wide. Inhaling first, exhale, long arms come to the ceiling, and then bring them all the way down. We're going to do 2 more like that. Inhaling first, exhale to float those arms to the ceiling, and bring them all the way down. You've got 1 to go. Breathing in first, breathe out to come up, and all the way down. We're going to go further back. You may prefer just to stay with the ceiling depending on your shoulders. Take a breath in, breathe out to bring your arms to the ceiling. If you're feeling comfortable, you're taking your arms further back. Otherwise, you're just going to the range that's best for your body today, and then bring your arms all the way back down. Your focus is your rib cage. Your front ribs and your back ribs are still. So think of funneling your ribs down towards your pelvis for me. How far your arms go back is dictated by what's happening with your rib cage. If you feel your back and your ribs lifting up off of the mat, and you feel your front ribs flaring up towards the ceiling, then that's as far as we want you to go. If that is happening, then your arms are getting back there by your back moving, as opposed to the ball and socket joint in your shoulder moving. Keep your breath work going, inhaling and exhaling. You're going to do 1 more each, and then we're going to put these together with our bridges. Breath in, breathe out to float those arms to the ceiling, to back to the range that's comfortable for your body today, and then all the way back down. Okay, we're going to combine these with our bridges. Arms down by your side to begin with, palms are down, feet firm. We're going to do the bridge first. Take a breath in, breathe out to tip your pelvis backwards and come up into your bridge position. Hold there for me. Take a breath in, breathe out to bring both arms straight to the ceiling. Nice long arms. Hold your arms here. Breathe in here. As you exhale, articulate your spine down bit by bit. You're going to go all the way down. You're going to roll your pelvis, and then your arms return back to your mat. We're going to do that again. Inhale first, gentle tilt back, spine imprints, go up into your bridge position and hold there. Float both arms to the ceiling. Hold your arms here. Down you come through your bridge. Keep your hips as still as you can. Try not to let them sway from side to side. Your pelvis rolls through neutral, and your arms return to your side. 2 to go. Inhale first, gentle tilt back, spine imprints, come up into that bridge position for me. Float your arms to the ceiling, hold your arms here. Take a breath in and breathe out to come all the way down. Nice long breath, pelvis rolls through neutral, arms return to your side. And last one, inhale first, gentle tilt back, spine imprints, go up to your bridge, hold your bridge position, float your arms to the ceiling, hold here. Breath in, breathe out as you come all the way down, hips are still, pelvis rolls through neutral, and arms return down to your side. Reach over and grab your band or something that you've got with you that replicates your band. Untangle it. Place your foot into that band. It could be a towel, it could be a solid scarf, it could be an old pair of tights or leggings, whatever you can put your foot in comfortably. You're going to hold one strap in each hand if you can. You're going to stretch your opposite leg out long and straight. So with the opposite leg, I want you to pull your toes to your nose. So your foot is flexed. You'll feel the muscles in the back of your leg engage. We're going to do some big circles. So you first of all going to take your leg across your body. You're going to bring your leg down to the bottom of your mat. You're going to go out towards the other side and back up to the top. Inhale and exhale. Right leg is still. Try not to let that right leg move. As you take your leg across your body, your hip will lift. You'll feel your hip lift off of the mat, but that's all that's coming off of the mat. So your rib cage stays connected to the mat. Nice long breaths, inhaling and exhaling as you flow. That right leg of yours is nice and still. It has not moved. We're going to do 2 more circles in this direction, and then we're going to reverse our circles. So we are mobilizing the hip joint. We have the pelvis relatively stable. We're going to change directions. As we mobilize that hip joint, the ball and socket joint rolls around. So that's lubricating the hip joint. Circles, when we do circles, your leg muscles have to work. In this instance, they're working with the support of the band. That allows them to slightly relax, but they're also getting lengthened out. They're getting stretched as you do them. So you're getting length through your leg muscles, particularly the hip flexor muscles, quad, psoas, there's a few others in there as well. Nice long breaths. Remember that right leg of yours has not moved, or the opposite leg. If you've got your left foot in the band, your opposite leg. Okay, one more circle, and then you're going to pause at the top. Little hamstring stretch. So gently bring that leg towards you. Now you don't have to be holding onto your band for dear life here, team. A little bit of a grip, but not holding for dear life. Pull your foot towards you will intensify that stretch. If you're feeling it in the back of your knee, bend your knee slightly, otherwise long straight leg. Now we're going to add a bit of calf into this. Just watch your band doesn't come off of your toes. Gently push your heel up and pull your toes towards your nose. Watch the band as it fly off of your toes. If it does fly off your toes and hit you in the face, it's going to hurt, I promise. So just be careful, team. Okay, back those toes off. Keep your foot up there. Put both bands into your opposite hand. So my left leg is up there. I put the bands into my right leg. Opposite hand's going to go out on the floor for some stability, and you're going to take your leg across your body. So you're getting a nice stretch through your hip. You're not going that far that your body starts to roll up off of your mat. Again, the further that foot is towards your face and your nose, the more intense that stretch will be. It doesn't need to be super intense. It does need to be stretching. So you want to feel it stretching, but you don't want to hurt yourself and put it too intense. Okay, bring your leg back to the ceiling. Now hold on with your other hand. So you're now holding on with the hand that is the same as the leg that's up there. The opposite hand, so for instance my right has gone out towards the floor, and you're just opening up through that inner thigh. Now for some of you that may not be a major stretch, your inner thighs might not be too tight. Toe towards your face a bit, might intense it a bit more by bringing your foot up a bit. Just work within the range that's comfortable, and again don't let yourself roll off of the mat. Okay, you're going to bring your leg back up towards the ceiling. You're going to untangle your foot out of your band or whatever you've got your foot in, and you're going to stretch your leg out long and straight, and you're going to feel the difference between your legs. So in a perfect world, you should feel that your leg is maybe slightly longer. Maybe slide your feet together and have a little feel. Front of your thigh should feel flatter. Okay, the hip flexor muscles are relaxed. Potentially your lower back on that side of the mat is more relaxed. So if you tuck your fingertips in underneath your lumbar spine, where that little arch is, you might feel that on the side that you've just been working, it's much more relaxed, and the other side is still really quite lifted up off of the mat. So there's much more compression in the side that we haven't done, and then the other side is nice and relaxed. So you just lengthen everything out. Okay, we need to change legs. So when you're ready, tuck your foot up. Make sure whatever you've got your foot in, whether it's a band or a scarf or a towel, that it's pretty much in the middle of your foot, so not too close to your toes. Stretch your opposite leg out long and straight, and flex your foot, so your toes are pulled towards your nose. One strap in each hand if you've got a band or a towel, one strap in each hand. We're going across the body first. We're going to go down to the bottom of the mat, we're going to go out to the side and back up to the top. Your opposite foot, the one that's now down on the mat, the foot is flexed. So the toes are pulled towards you to help you engage the muscles in the back of your leg. You're doing nice big circles. You're breathing in through your nose and you're breathing out through your mouth. So your breath work is still happening. The upper part of your body is still. So as you do your circle, you're not rolling around on the mat. Yes, your hip will lift as your leg comes across your body, but you're not rolling around on your mat. You've got control of the movement. You're still taking nice big deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Let's change the direction. So when you get to the top, go the other way. Leg goes out to the side, around and up. Inhale, exhale. Circles don't need to be super big for this to be effective. Work within the range that you can control, and maybe that's partly controlled by the space that you're in. If the coffee table is next to you, you might not quite have enough room. So just do the circle that you can. Nice big deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling, mobilizing that hip joint. Okay, we're going to do one more circle. So we're going to go out, around and back. When you get to the top, we're going into a hamstring stretch. So your leg is long and straight. The closer that foot is towards your nose, the more intense. You don't have to have super tense band. Just work within something that's got some stability and support. Laying long straight leg, slightly bent knee if it bothers your knee at all. Okay, calf. Push, gently push your heel to the ceiling, toes to your nose. Watch the band as it fly off the front of your foot. Breathe. Okay, put those bands in your opposite hand and take your leg across your body. Keep your body on the mat. Your opposite hand can go out a little bit wider on the floor to give you some stability. Closer that foot comes to your nose, the more intense that stretch will be. It doesn't need to be ridiculously intense. Nice big deep breaths. Okay, bring your leg back to the ceiling. You're going to take it out the other way, going into a nice inner thigh stretch, so let that open up for me. A couple of breaths here. Again, the closer that foot comes towards you, the more intense it'll be. Big deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. And you're going to bring your leg back up towards the ceiling. You're going to untangle your foot out of the band, put the band on the floor next to you for the moment, and stretch both legs out nice and long. And now feel the opposite side. So you should again, maybe your legs are now again the same length. Again, you should feel that flatness through the front of your hip. Lower back now on this side should feel a little bit more connected to the mat, so maybe there's not quite so much tension in there. So just scan the body a little bit. Sometimes it's good to just allow the body and the brain to talk to each other. Yes, that does feel better, and yes, maybe my muscles mightn't stay quite so tight from now on. Bend your knees, have your feet flat back on the mat and your feet hip width distance apart. Arms are down by your side, nice and relaxed through head, neck and shoulders. Okay, we're going to do single leg stretch and single straight leg stretch, one after the other. You can stick with me and just roll through the two, or you can have a little rest anywhere along. Remember, nothing's compulsory. First thing we're going to do is float one leg to 90 degrees and hold it there. We're going to take a breath in and bring our second leg up to join it. We're going to rest our hands up on top of our knees. We're going to take a breath in and breathe out to lift our head, neck and shoulders up, and we're looking directly down the middle of our thighs. We're going to stretch one leg out nice and long and straight, and we're going to pull the opposite knee in towards our chest. We're going to inhale and exhale to change these over. One leg stretches out, other leg pulls in. Try and keep your shoulders broad and wide for me. Your spine is imprinted here. Your gaze is down between your thighs. The lower that straight leg, the more challenging the exercise will be. You can choose here, team. It doesn't need to be super challenging. Keep the length in your leg. So really stretch that leg out. So you're matching the effort. As much as you pull that knee in towards your chest, you're stretching the opposite leg out nice and long and straight. Nice big deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. We're going to do one more on each side, and then we're going to go to both legs being straight. Last one here. Okay, hold on to that leg, stretch it to the ceiling, slide the hands up the back of the leg, pull the leg towards your chest. And then inhale, exhale, scissor them over and change. So same rules. Broad shoulders, try not to let them curl forwards. Gaze down between your thighs. Inhaling, exhaling. Nice long breaths. The lower the leg, the more challenging the exercise will be. You need to be able to maintain your imprint in your spine. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. One more on each side. Pull the leg in, stretch the other one away. Last one here. Bring both legs to the ceiling. Bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Lower your head, neck and shoulders down, and you are going to roll around on your mat and massage your back. So nice little massage for me. Massage your lower back and your lumbar spine. Change the direction, go the other way. Nice little massage. Should feel good on your back. A little turn of the head from left to right as well. Let's do that. Take the tension out of your neck. And then your feet are going to return back down onto the mat. And again, knees bent, feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to take our hands and we're going to place them underneath our hips. So you're going to float your hips up off of the mat. You're going to slide your hands underneath your hips. So for want of a better word, you are sitting on top of your hands. Your shoulders will be nice and broad here. Float one leg to 90 degrees and hold it there. Take a breath in, bring the second leg up to join it. Stretch both of your legs straight to the ceiling and initially glue them together for me. Take a breath in and breathe out to lift your head, neck and shoulders up and take your gaze down between your legs. Left leg first, lower it down towards the mat, nice long leg, and then bring it back up. Changing to the right, lower the leg down, and then bring it back up. So you're going to alternate sides. The lower you go, the more challenging. You can choose your depth, team. It doesn't need to be low to make it effective. Keep looking down to the middle of your thighs. That's going to help you keep your head, neck and shoulders up off of the mat. Remember your breath, inhaling and exhaling. That breath is always designed to assist you to do the movement. Nice long breaths. We're going to do one more on each side. Leg goes down, bring it back up. We've got one to go. When you get to the top, pause, lower your head, neck and shoulders, bend your knees, place your feet down to the mat, lift your hips up, stretch your legs out long, take your hands out from underneath your hips, take your arms to the ceiling and over the top of your head if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, they could be down by your side in like a letter T. If they're in a T, you're reaching your fingers out towards the side. Otherwise, arms are over the top of your head. You are just stretching here, folks. Big deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. One more breath pattern. And then you're going to float your arms to the ceiling or slide them back by your side and bring them all the way down. Lovely. We're going to roll onto our side and we're going to prop ourselves up on our elbow. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water. Alright, so you're going to come up onto your elbow. Now, if that bothers you, I want you to either come down and cradle your head in on your arm. That arm could be bent or straight. Otherwise, you're propped up on your elbow. Now, your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. So just check your alignment. You don't want it too far out and you don't want it too far in. You want that good base of support. Legs are long and straight, slightly in front. So bring them slightly forwards for me. Hips nice and stacked. So in these exercises, watch your hip doesn't start to roll back. So bring your hip forward so one side of your hip is directly on top of the other side. Hand's going to start on your hip. You're going to push your hip away and lift through your waistline. Now your hand can stay there if you like, or it can come in front on your mat. You can choose. Both feet are flexed, so pull your toes towards your nose. And then you're going to gently lift your leg and you're going to lower your leg down. As you lift and lower your leg is long. So it's like you're trying to scrape your heel up the wall on the opposite side of your room. Nice long breaths for me. Inhaling as you lift, exhale as you lower. The rest of your body is nice and stable and still. 2 to go. Float the leg up, lower it down, and last one, and pause. Both feet, bring them forwards about 10 to 15 centimetres. So if you're on a mat, they may well end up off of the mat. Bottom foot stays where it is, top leg lifts, take it back as far as you can without that front foot lifting. Point your toes to me and draw me some nice round circles back there. Point your toes and lengthen your leg. Make it as long as you can. Now your circles are nice and round. Keep them round for me. Keep breathing. Let's change the direction. Got that length in your leg. Nice long breaths to match your movement. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Okay, 2 more circles. Pause, bring your leg forwards and lower it all the way down. Bring your feet back in line with your hips and come right down and cradle your head in on your arm. If that bothers your arm, it could be straight. You could have a pillow. You could be lying on your side with a pillow. Otherwise, you've got your head resting in on your arm. Hands in front. Bring it in front on the mat to give you some stability. Turn your top leg so your knee has rotated towards the ceiling. We're going to do some hip openers. You're going to take your toes from your ankle to your knee, kick your leg up nice and high, and then flex the foot as you bring it down. So you're going ankle to knee, kick up high, flex the foot as you bring it down. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice long leg. Opening up that hip joint. Toes glide, ankle to knee, kick up, lengthen the leg as you lower it down. So you are trying to get your heel across the opposite ankle. Opening up that hip joint to the ceiling and all the way down. We're going to do 2 more. Ankle to knee, kick up and down. And last one, ankle to knee, kick up and lower it all the way down. We're either going to roll over or you're going to flip yourself to the opposite end of your mat like I am. Coming down on this elbow if you can. If this elbow bothers you, feel free to cradle your head in your arm. Pillow, you can choose. Check your alignment to make sure your elbows underneath your shoulders, fingers and forearms are out nice and long. Legs just slightly forwards, just a little bit. Feet are flexed, the toes are pulled towards your nose. Hand comes onto your hip, push your hip away and create that space within your waistline. Your hand could come down in front if you like. Make sure your hip's nice and stacked and that hasn't tipped backwards for me. Looking across your room, so your head's in line with your spine. You're going to lift your top leg up off your bottom leg, and you're going to lower it down. As you lift your leg, inhale, and as you lower, exhale. As you float your leg up and down, the rest of your body is still. Your breath is matching your movement. Inhaling as you lift, exhale as you lower. Nice and controlled with the rest of your body, not lifting too high that you feel that waistline drop into the mat. Nice and controlled. We've got 2 to go. Gentle lift and lower. Last one, and pause. Okay, both feet, bring them forwards about 15 centimeters, so your feet may end up off of the mat. Bottom foot stays connected to the floor, top leg lifts, take it backwards behind you as far as you can without that front foot lifting. Point your toes and you've got some circles. You've got length in your leg, your toes are pointed away from you, you're reaching as far as you can, you're drawing a nice round circle for me. The rest of your body is stable and still. Inhaling and exhaling, reverse, change the direction. So torso is not moving, leg is long, circle is round. Nice long breaths. Your breath will facilitate movement, it's going to help you. 2 circles to go. Bring your leg forwards and lower it down. Legs, bring them back in line with your body. Come down and cradle your head in on your arm. Again, that arm could be straight, bent. You could have your head on a pillow if you prefer. Hand comes down the mat in front of you for some stability. Turn your top leg so your knee rotates to the ceiling. Take your toes from your ankle to your knee. Kick your leg up nice and high and then flex your foot as you return it all the way down. So ankle to knee, kick up high, flex the foot as you bring it down. So you're opening up that hip joint. Ankle to knee, kick up and flex on the way down. Breathing. Inhale, exhale. Just let them flow. You're trying to open up that hip joint. You're trying to get length in that leg. So when you bring that leg to the ceiling, kick high. When you take your leg down, make it long. You're trying to get your ankle, your heel over the opposite ankle. Okay, you've got 2 to go, team. Ankle to knee, kick up and down. And last one, ankle to knee, kick up and lower it down. Rest for a second. We're going to flip you onto your stomachs. We're going to go into our goalpost position. We're going to do a little bit of work warming your spine up in this manner first. So wriggle yourself over onto your stomach. Have your hands in your goalpost position. So you're going to take them a little bit wider than your mat. Forearms, wrists, elbows, just a little bit wider than your mat and down on the ground. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. So draw your shoulders away from your ears. Your head is either resting on the mat or it's hovering. Either is fine. Legs, bring them together for me. Bit of inner thigh engagement. They might move as we go along, but let's start with them together. Core is switched on. So you feel that little belly button trying to lift up off of the mat. You'll feel your tummy muscles engaged and that engagement through your abdominals. There is no pressure in your arms. Your back muscles are going to do the work here. Going to take a breath in. You're going to breathe out to lift your face and gently lift your chest up off of your mat. And then you're lowering all the way down. Nice and relaxed through the head, neck and shoulders. Inhaling first, exhale to come up. You're just coming up to the base of your rib cage. And then you're lowering all the way down. You're thinking length from the crown of your head. Nice long spines for me. There is no pressure in your forearms as you're coming up. So your back muscles are lifting you up. Keep your breath pattern going for me. Nice gentle arms. We're going to do 2 more. Inhaling first, exhale to come up. Just to the bottom of your ribs and then slowly down. And last one, inhale first, exhale to come up. And then slowly down. Take your hands and place them down by your side and turn your palms to the ceiling for me. With your feet, I want you to bring your big toes together to touch, and I want you to drop your ankles out towards the side. So you'll feel when you put your legs in that position that your legs are relaxed. The glutes are disengaged. There's no activation here. We put your feet in that position for that purpose. We want to keep your feet on the ground. Arms are long. Reach your fingers down towards your toes. We're going to come into some darts. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to breathe out to lift our face, lift our chest, and we're going to float our arms up off of the mat for me, and then we're going to lower all the way down. Inhale first for me. Breathe out as you come up. Keep that length of your fingers right down towards your toes, and then lower yourself all the way down. Your feet are nice and relaxed down on the mat, they're not lifting. Inhale first, exhale up you come. Get those length through those fingers down to your toes, and lower all the way down. Nice and relaxed through head, neck and shoulders. Exhaling to come up in a nice elongated dart and lower down. Okay, pause for a second. We're going to do 3 more. We're going to add some arm pumps. Think of hundreds of pumps, but there's only going to be 8 of them. I want them to be strong pumps. You should feel the back of your arms working. Take a breath in, breathe out to come up into your dart, hold that position and pump your arms for me for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and lower all the way down. Core switched on. Inhale first, exhale up you come and pump for me for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and lower all the way down. Got 1 to go. Inhale first, exhale up you come and pump for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and lower all the way down. We're going to go into little child's pose stretch. So you're going to take your hips back towards your heels. If it's comfortable for you to have your arms in front of you, they're out in front of you. If that's not, you're going to put them down by your side. You're going to sink your hips back towards your heels. Your knees can have a gap between them. Little gap between your knees is fine. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. So even though your arms in front of you, your arms are not up by your ears. Big deep breaths into the back of your rib cage. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. 2 more breaths here for me. Big deep breath in. Exhale out. Last one. Big deep breath in and out. Gently pull yourself straight up onto all fours, come into your quadruped position and align yourself up. So your alignment should place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Your back should be broad and strong, your head's in line with your spine, so that puts you in neutral spine. So you haven't lifted too much through your shoulders, you haven't dropped too much through your lower back or your lumbar spine. There is a straight line down your back. There is a gap between your knees, so you've got a nice, decent base of support. If your knees are too close together, you're not going to have a decent base of support. Your weight bearing through your little fingers so you can physically lift your thumbs up off of the mat. We're going to start with your arms. You take a breath in, you're going to breathe out to slide your hands along the mat and lift them up to where is comfortable, and then bring them all the way down. You're going to alternate sides. Inhale first, exhale out you go and up, and bring them down. So as you alternate sides in your own time, I want you to think of length. Nice long arms. Your shoulders are stable and still. Your breath is matching your movement. As you bring your hands back down, you're maintaining your weight bearing through your little fingers. We've got 1 to go. Then we're going to go with our hips. Okay, hands stay on the mat, broad through your shoulders. Slide 1 set of toes along the mat. Lift the leg up just to hip height. Return your toes to the mat and glide it underneath. You're going to change sides. Slide those toes out, lift them up, make them long, and then bring them down. As you alternate sides, you are very mindful that your hip is not twisting. Keep your pelvis square to the ground. If you lift too high, you will twist your pelvis. Nice long breaths to match your movement. Okay, we're going to go opposite arm and leg next. Take a breath in, breathe out to glide opposite arm and leg out, lift them up, make them long, and then draw them down with control and stability. Changing sides, exhale, lift, and down. So as you alternate sides in your own time, remember the body is still, the limbs are the only thing that's moving. Work within the range that's best for your body today. Use your breath to match your movement. If you want to have a rest, just go to child's pose and have a rest. We're going to do 1 more on each side. Slide opposite arm and leg out, lift them up with control, bring them down. Last one on the other side. Inhale first, exhale, out you go. Bring them down. Going into some cat and cow stretches. So stay on all fours for me. Drop your head between your arms and arch your back right up towards the ceiling for me and open your spine. Now bring your stomach down towards the mat. Curve your spine the other way and take your gaze across the room. Inhale there, exhale, chin comes towards your chest, arching your back right up to the ceiling and opening your spine like the cat does. And then bringing your tummy down towards the mat and your gaze across the room. You've got one more in each direction. Allow your head to draw down between your arms, arch your back right up towards the ceiling for me. And then last one, tummy comes down, gaze goes across the room. Relax in neutral. Wriggle forwards to the end of your mat, stay on all fours. Moving into a glute stretch. Take both of your feet to the left hand side of your mat. Pick up your left foot, put it in the middle of your mat. Slide your left foot down your mat and come down onto your forearms. So you can keep wriggling that foot back. If you want more intensity in your stretch, and this is not compulsory, you can bring that foot underneath you further towards your chest. That will intensify the stretch. It's not necessary, just make sure you're getting a deep stretch. And breath work. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath. Carefully pull yourself back up onto all fours. Take your time. Find your alignment here. Both of your feet are now going to go to the right hand side. You're going to pick up your right foot. You're going to put it in the middle of the mat and down you go. You're going to wriggle that foot backwards, coming down onto your forearms. Again, if you want more intensity, bring the opposite foot slightly further forwards depending on your mobility. It's not entirely necessary. And hang here and breathe. Should feel that in your hip. Big deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. One more breath pattern. And carefully pull yourself out of it. You're going to come up to sitting. You're going to stretch your legs out long and straight in front of you. And again, I'm going to grab another sip of water. Bring your band with you, team. All right. So band is with you. We're going to use our bands for twist. I'm going to give you some choices. Nothing's compulsory. So if you do twist with me with your arms out long and straight out to one side, then you're going to use your band. If you prefer to have your hands across your shoulder for your twist, then you're just going to leave your band out of it. So if you're going to use your band, come with me. Stretch your band out long across your arms like that. It doesn't need to be on your arms. You can have your hands across your shoulders. You could just have your arms out without your band as well. Feet, flex them. So pull your toes to your nose. Sit up tall. Create space between your waistline and your rib cage. We're going to go to left first. Take a breath in. Breathe out to twist your torso towards the left. Keep your feet nice and still for me. Come back through the center line and then twist yourself towards the right. Inhale. Exhale to twist. Arms are nice and long. If you've got your band, it's going to help you keep your hands in line with your shoulders. If your preference is to have your hands across your chest, then that is perfectly fine. Either way, your feet are not moving. You're keeping your feet nice and still. Try not to let them move. Let your breath assist you to do it. Exhaling as you twist yourself around and back through the center. We're going to do one more each way. Breathe out. Twist, return through the center. Last one to the other side. When you get back to the middle, pause, lower your arms down, and tangle yourself out of your band. Put it on the floor next to you. We're going to go into spine stretch now. We're going to remember how our spine felt when we did our cat stretches. So legs are out long and straight. And again, team, if it is more comfortable to have your legs bent in these couple of exercises, feel free to bend them. That's okay. Otherwise, legs are long and straight and they're hip width. Bit of a gap between them. Sit up nice and tall. Hands down by your side with your palms to the ceiling. Broad shoulders for me. Keep them broad and wide. Inhale first. Tuck your chin to your chest. Scoop your belly backwards and round your spine. Keep that scoop of your belly and slide your hands forwards, but keep your sit bones on the mat. Come as far as is comfortable for your body today. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Come back up. Come and sit up nice and tall. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. Chin to chest. Scoot your belly backwards. Breathe out as you curl forwards, sliding your hands along the mat. Sit bones stay on the mat. Slowly come back up. Shoulders are relaxed and well away from your ears. You're going to go again. Inhale first. Tuck the chin to the chest. Round the spine backwards. Breathe out as you curl yourself forwards. and then come all the way back up. We're going to do 2 more, and the last one we're going to stay down there. Inhale first, tuck the chin to the chest, around the spine. Exhale as you curl forwards, come all the way back up. On the last one, we're going to hang out down there. Inhale first, chin to chest, round through spine, curl forwards. Now your sit bones might lift a little bit here. Reach down, hold onto your calves. Maybe you're able to reach your ankles. Maybe today you can reach the bottom of your feet. And just stretch yourself all the way out. If you pull your tummy back towards your spine a bit more, you get that nice length through the back of your spine and your shoulders and your back. Then let go of whatever you're holding on to and slowly come up to the top and just rest for a second. We're going to do some part roll downs using a band. Don't need to use the band. If you're using the band, your legs are going to be straight. If you're not using a band, I want you to have your knees bent and you do your part roll downs without your band. If you haven't got the band, knees and feet touching. If you've got the band comes over the top of your feet and hold on with one strap in each hand, but not for dear life, okay? It's just going to help you slightly. So you can choose. Sit up nice and tall for me. Whether your knees are bent or your legs are long with your band, bring your chin to your chest, gaze towards your pelvis. Tip your pelvis backwards. You're going to roll back part way. You're going to pause. You're going to breathe in. And you're going to breathe out to roll yourself back up. You're going to sit up nice and tall. So arms are relaxed. Inhale first. Tuck the chin to the chest. Around the spine backwards. Pause there. Take a breath in. Breathe out to roll yourself back up. Come and sit up nice and tall. If your knees are bent, your hands are just running down the side of your thighs. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale first. Tuck the chin to the chest. Down you go. Long breath out. Pause here. Take a breath in and then roll all the way back up. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale first. Tuck the chin to the chest. Rolling the spine backwards. Pause there. Take a breath in and breathe out to come all the way up. We've got 1 to go. Inhale first, tuck the chin, round the spine, shoulders are nice and relaxed, keep them broad for me. Pause there, take a breath in and breathe out to come all the way up. If you've got a band, you're going to untangle your feet and you're going to put the band on the floor next to you. If you haven't got a band, you're just going to sit yourself upright and stretch your legs out. We're going to wriggle down towards the end of the mat. In fact, I want you to take your heels off of your mat. So your heels are off of the mat. We're going to do 1 full roll down. Arms are long, sitting tall, chin to chest. Exhale, go down as slowly as you can. So try and feel each vertebrae in your spine going onto the mat. As you go down, you're breathing out. Take it slowly, team. Shoulders away from your ears. Bring your arms right up over your ears if you can. Circle your arms around and bring them all the way down by your side. Bend your knees, bring your feet in towards your hips and have your knees and feet touching. Slide your arms out onto a 45 degree, a little bit wider than your mat. Glue your knees together, drop your knees to the left hand side of your mat and take your gaze over your right shoulder. Nice big deep breaths where you lie here and stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. Tummy muscles are switched on. Squeeze your knees together. Pull them through the center of your mat and drop them to the right. Gaze goes over your left shoulder. Hang there and breathe. Nice big deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, we're going to repeat that stretch. Pull your knees through the center. You're going to drop them right over to the other side. Gaze goes in the opposite direction and then hang here. Your top leg, stretch it out long and straight and just let it hang. It's going to give you a little bit more of a stretch. Nice big deep breaths. Bend that top knee, bring it back on top of the bottom leg. Tummy muscles switched on, pull your legs through the center. Take your gaze over the opposite shoulder, knees drop to the other side of the mat, hold here. Stretch that leg out long and straight. Hang there and let it stretch. Nice big deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. Bend your knee, place it on top of the bottom leg and roll yourself back to the center. Let's roll onto our side. We're going to do a set of book openings. Roll right over for me. Cradle your head in on your arm. Arm could be straight. You could have a pillow underneath your head if you prefer, and both arms out. If you have got the pillow underneath your head, just watch that you don't end up like this. Okay, I want your shoulders still stacked one on top of the other and your head just resting on that pillow. Otherwise, your arm is bent like mine, or it could be straight. Either's good. Your feet are tucked back in line with your hips, so you haven't got them too far forwards. There's a bit of a straight line from your hips to your feet. Your chin's up off of your chest and you're looking across your room. Hand comes down on the floor in front of you and your hand is directly in line with your shoulder, so that arm is not too low, not too high. And try and keep it in line with your shoulder as you move on. Knees are glued together. Tummy muscles are gently engaged. Take a breath in. Breathe out to bring your arm to the ceiling and let your gaze follow your hand. And then bring your hand back down to the floor. Inhale, breath first. Exhale, arm comes to the ceiling. Gaze follows the hand. And then bring the hand back to the floor. Okay, we're going to go further back. Knees squeeze together. Arm comes to the ceiling. Move into your rotation. Remember, the bottom part of your body is not moving. Your arm is nice and long. Lengthen the arm to the ceiling and bring it all the way back to the floor. So use your breath. Inhale first. Exhale, arm goes to the ceiling. Into your rotation. Arm is nice and long. Knees are squeezed together. Lengthen that arm of yours to the ceiling and bring it back to the floor. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale first. Exhale, arm goes to the ceiling. Move into your rotation. Knees and hips are stable and still. Arm is nice and long. Lengthen your arm to the ceiling and bring it back to the floor. Okay, the last one, we're going to hang out there. Inhale first. Exhale, arm goes to the ceiling. Move into your rotation. And then when you can't get any further, that's when your knees can slide apart. You might get your arm a bit further to the ground. And just hang there and breathe. Nice big deep breaths. Okay, team, squeeze your knees together, switch your stomach muscles on, lengthen your arm to the ceiling, and bring it all the way back to the floor. Okay, we're going to change sides or change ends of your mat. If you're changing ends with me, just watch that you don't get dizzy as you move. Wriggle yourself around, come back down on your side, pillow with you if you prefer, head cradled on your arm, either is fine. Knees are bent, feet tucked back, top arm out in the floor in front of you, nice long arm, hand in line with your shoulders. Squeeze your knees together. Take a breath in, breathe out to bring the arm to the ceiling, let your gaze follow your hand, and then bring your hand back down to the floor. Inhale first, exhale, arm comes to the ceiling, gaze follows your hand, and then bring your hand back down to the floor. Okay, we're going to move into our rotation. Exhale, arm goes to the ceiling, rotating further back, knees are squeezed together, arm is nice and long. Lengthen the arm to the ceiling and bring it all the way back to the floor. Nice long breaths to match your movement. Inhale first, exhale, back you go. Open up through the front of the chest, keep the knees squeezed together. Lengthen the arm to the ceiling and bring it back to the floor. 2 to go, folks. Inhale first, exhale, back you go. Nice long arm, open through that chest. Knees are still squeezed together. Keep the length in your arm. Bring it back to the ceiling and back to the floor. Okay, we've got 1 to go. This is the last one. We're going to hang out there. Inhale first, exhale back into your rotation. And when you find that point where you physically cannot get any further, that's when your knees drop apart. Arms going to get a bit further to the ground. Hang there and stretch. Enjoy that stretch. Nice big deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Tummy muscles switched on. Lengthen your arm to the ceiling. Pull it all the way back and bring it all the way back to the floor. Okay, just roll straight onto your back for me. So roll back onto your back. That's bad English. Lie onto your back again. There we go. Arms down by your side. Knees are bent. Feet are hip width. Right, let's revisit our body scan. So, start at the top. Head, neck and shoulders. How do you feel? Is there more touching the mat? Do you feel, as you just start to work your mind down through your rib cage, that more of your ribs are in connection with the mat? What's touching now compared to what was before? Arms, what's happening there? Do you feel that your arms are a little bit more relaxed? Your shoulders are a bit closer to the mat. Maybe there's not so much of a gap between your shoulders and the mat. How do you feel in comparison to before? Down through your lower back and your lumbar spine. What's touching? What isn't touching? Down through your hips. How does it feel? Hopefully more of your body is in connection to your mat. And finally, right down to your feet. How does your body feel? Okay, we're going to roll up with one assisted roll up. You have a choice whether you come with me or whether you just sit yourself up. It's entirely up to you. If you're going to come with me and do an assisted roll up, I want you to float one leg to 90 degrees and hold it there. I want you to take a breath in and bring your second leg up to join it. I want you to tuck your hands in behind your knees and your arms are straight, so there's no bend in your elbows. Using your breath, breathe in. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest, push your feet away from you and roll yourself up and just sit. We're just going to sit for a second. You can feel a little bit lightheaded and dizzy. We've been lying down there for quite a bit, so we're just going to sit for a second and make sure we don't feel dizzy and lightheaded. If you are feeling that way, you're going to stay right on the floor where you are. If you're not and you're feeling okay, you're going to come up to standing with me. Bring yourself up to standing. Come up to standing and place yourself with your feet hip width distance apart. So your feet are nice and straight, your feet are hip width distance apart, directly underneath your hips. Arms are down by your side, shoulders are nice and relaxed, and you're standing tall to begin with. You're going to distribute your weight 40-60. So 60% of your weight is through the front of your feet, 40% is through your heels. So you feel slightly like you might be leaning slightly forwards. Arms are nice and relaxed. We're going to roll up and down. You're going to take a breath in. And you're going to tuck your chin to your chest. And you're going to roll yourself down. As you roll down, you're maintaining your 60-40 weight distribution. Arms are nice and relaxed. Pause there. Take a breath in. Lead with the tailbone. Roll yourself back up. You're going to stand up nice and tall. Your shoulders are nice and relaxed and they're well away from your ears. Check for dizziness or lightheadedness. If you're feeling a little bit that way, stay standing up, otherwise you're coming with me. You're doing one long breath out as you go all the way down. And your arms, they just feel like they belong to a rag doll. You're going to pause at the bottom. You're going to breathe in. You're going to lead with your tailbone. You've still got 60-40 weight distribution. You're rolling yourself back up. You're going to stand up nice and tall. You're going to draw your shoulders away from your ears. Check again for lightheadedness. Inhale first. One long breath out all the way down if you can. Let all the air out of your lungs for me. Make room for clean air. Pause at the bottom with an inhale. Lead with the tailbone. Tuck it under. Come up through your lower back. Come up through your rib cage. And bring finally your head up on top of your spine. You've got two to go. Inhale first. Tuck the chin to the chest. Down you go. 60-40 weight distribution. It's going to help you keep your hips in line with your heels. As you're going all the way down, the arms are just hanging. At the bottom, pause. Inhale, lead with the tailbone. Tuck it under. Scoop through the belly. Tummy muscles engaged. You're going to come up and stand nice and tall. We've got one to go. And we're going to hang out down there if we can. Inhale, chin to chest. Down you go. Long breath. All the way out. Go all the way down as far as you can. Now, arms, let them circle. Circle them around like you're drawing some circles on the floor. Just let your arms hang out of their sockets. Eyes are open. Reverse the direction of your circles. Keep your breathing going. Nice big deep breaths. Relax your arms. Pause there. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, lead with your tailbone. Tuck it under. Roll yourself up. And stand nice and tall. And just stand upright for a minute. And stop the blood from draining to your head. We're going to finish with our nice little 3 stretches. Stand tall. Let your arms hang down by your side for a moment. Moving onto your tippy toes if that's good for you today. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Onto your tippy toes. Arms out towards the side. Take your arms right up towards the ceiling like you're trying to touch it. And then lengthen your arms. Make them really long and slowly return your heels down to the ground. Breath in, breathe out to come up. Find your balance, stretch your arms to the ceiling if you possibly can, then lengthen them out. As you come all the way down, you've got 1 to go. Work within the range that's best for your body. Inhale first, exhale. Reach and reach and reach and reach and reach. And slowly down. You're going to pause there. You're going to roll your shoulders in one direction, and then you're going to roll them in the other. Team, I hope you enjoyed that class. You've got it for a week to play with it. You can do it as many times as you like. Enjoy, listen to your bodies. If you are doing it over and over again, you should see different changes happening in your body as you go through. Things should get easier. They should create more length for your body. If you've only got one time to do it during the week, then that is perfectly fine. Enjoy. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Thanks, team. Bye now.